Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I know. It's the middle of the night practically for a lot of you, but I did get back to the studio today. I was actually on a flight earlier and recently got back. I wanted to go live because it's been a while since I've seen you guys, since I've spoken with you guys, since I've went live. I wanted to get back in the rhythm of things, and there's so much exciting stuff happening that I just wanted to uh, talk about it. And maybe this live doesn't get many views because of the timing, but nevertheless, I wanted to go live. So thank you for all who have made it today. The indices were pretty much flat. We are waiting some important economic news this week that will tell us a lot about the state of the economy, and that's going to impact the probabilities for a rate cut in December, which is the month that we're in right now. So we'll get job openings on Tuesday. And the most important piece of data, in my point of view, is the payrolls data that we'll get on Friday. So that will be very instructive in terms of gauging the level, the temperature of the economy. Currently, the probability for a rate cut in December has actually increased from around 60% the last time I spoke with you guys to close to 75% today. And so things are looking very good for risk assets in light of this. Now, we have seen a lot of chop and perhaps nervousness, hesitation, if you will, in the markets. But this is to be expected considering how much we've run in recent weeks. Remember, in November, we went from 60,000 to close to 100,000 for the price of Bitcoin. So some consolidation and chop is to be expected in the price of Bitcoin, very similar to the Syrian rebels who have made enormous gains in an even shorter period of time. And now there's some consolidation going there. Very expected and normal. Alhamdulillah for that. And by the way, if you think for some reason you're going to, now this is not economics or finance related, so bear with me here. But if in your mind, Syrians going back to their houses, to their villages, to their cities is in some way bad, a bad thing, is in some way serving Israel, then your morality is backwards. You need to really review why the heck you think in this way. For a lot of people, it's going to be blind sectarianism that got them to these bizarre conclusions. But a rational mind and a properly developed morality, let alone a Muslim, should understand that this is fundamentally a great thing that we should be all happy about. And I don't really think the Muslim Ummah appreciates how important Aleppo is and the history of that region was, if you look at, for example, when the when Jerusalem was liberated from the Crusaders, it started with Aleppo. This is a very big event, so I think that there's reason to be very optimistic. Alhamdulillah is all I'm going to say. Leave a like on this live if you appreciate these lives as a welcome back. And by the way, after I sent the email yesterday about the promotion being close to expiring, within half an hour we had reached the limit, and so I got a bunch of emails after that, basically saying that, hey, you just sent the email and the code says it expired. So I extended the code for another day. So use the code Boron24, but that's it. I won't extend it more than that. Use the code BORON24 if you're interested in the 35% off promotion that we got going on. And by the way, nothing in this video is meant to be personalized financial advice. Be sure to do your own due diligence before making any investing decisions. All right, guys. So back to finance. So Tesla got some headwinds today in the form of some news items, but it's still up 3.5%, still beasting through all-time highs for the year. Bitcoin got some headwinds today in some news, but it's still at 96,000, holding up very nicely. So we'll talk about that in a second. So let's start with Bitcoin. So Silk Road Bitcoin worth nearly 2 billion moved to Coinbase Prime. So the US government has a bunch of Bitcoin that it confiscated. In this case from Silk Road, and it moved 2 billion to Coinbase, which means that most likely this 2 billion is going to be sold soon. So there's going to be some sell pressure in Bitcoin. But when you look at what's going on, the general context, I think this is going to be easily picked up by the market. There's a drought of Bitcoin on OTC desks and in brokerages. So this is going to be easily soaked up. And the price of Bitcoin, the resilience of the price of Bitcoin is kind of testament to the fact that the market kind of agrees with me on this, that this is not going to be an issue for Bitcoin to soak up that selling pressure. What I did find surprising is checking here on Kalshi and the probabilities for when Bitcoin hits 100,000. And for before December 31st, probability is just 65%. I think that is understated. I think that is less than what it actually is. I think there's a much higher probability that we hit 100K by December 31st, and we'll probably hit higher than that by December 31st. I mean, for crying out loud, we're already at 96,000. So we're a stone throws away from 100K. So not sure what's going on with the Kalshi betting markets, but this 65% is off. All right. So as it relates to Tesla's headwinds, so Tesla CEO Elon Musk lost a bid to get 56 billion pay package reinstated. So quick backstory here. Years ago, the Tesla board agreed to a pay package for Elon Musk based on him reaching what were at the time extremely lofty, unlikely goals in the future. And guess what? He reached them. And so he's owed his money. He's owed his pay. And so a bunch of lawyers, no good, scheming, good for nothing lawyers who contribute no value. I'm not talking about all lawyers. I'm talking about these particular lawyers contribute no value to society, are just parasites on other people and enterprises that are successful. They decided to sue on behalf of Tesla shareholders. They found some dude who had a few shares and convinced him to sue Tesla on the grounds that Elon Musk's pay package was too large. And the judge in Delaware scratched her head and was like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. He's getting paid a lot more than I am. So maybe it is too large. So Tesla goes back and they go to their shareholders and they say, listen, because part of the argument for the judge in the first place was the shareholders didn't really know what was going on. So Tesla went back to the shareholders and they did a vote to ratify the pay package for Elon Musk. And it passed with flying colors. 70%, more than 70% of shareholders said, yeah, this is what we want to pay the CEO of the company that we're owners of. And the judge, after this vote said, oh, well, we already gave our judgment, so we're not going to include additional facts. But what's really upsetting about this whole situation is that this judge, and this is why I think this is, there's more to it than meets the eye. This judge said, while it rejected Elon Musk's pay package, this judge approved a $345 million attorney fee award for the lawyers who successfully sued on behalf of Tesla shareholders in order to avoid Musk's pay plan. So Musk's pay is outrageous, but these lawyers who did nothing, who built nothing, who provided no value to anyone, who are simply leeches on society, they deserve $345 million in attorney fees. That's what's really upsetting about this. But despite this, Tesla is still up 3.5% today. Now, perhaps part of the reason for this is, but I would be surprised because if people are listening to this analyst, I don't know what's wrong with them. Tesla turns a bear into a bull with a massive narrative and price target switch. So there was this bear. He's one of, I think, two remaining bears on the street with regards to Tesla. And his name is Craig Irwin. He's been a bear on Tesla for years. He had a price target for Tesla of $85, and he changed it to $380. So I don't know what the heck happened. How do you go from a price target of 85 to 380? Maybe he was hit by a bolt of lightning. He was concussed when he made the $85 price target. I don't know how on earth you go from 85 to 380. What type of analysis gets you there? But this is what happened. And he thinks that, part of and he still doesn't get it, to be honest, because I saw the interview with him on CNBC, and he was basically saying, oh, well, a lot of conservative voters are going to start buying Tesla now because, Elon Musk aligned himself with Donald Trump. That's not the reason why you should have a bullish perspective on Tesla at all. You should have a bullish perspective on Tesla because of autonomy and because of their robots and their AI and the mass production capacity that they have and the synergies between all of that. That's why you should have a bullish stance on Tesla. Not because conservative voters are now going to find EVs appealing. Anyways, so he says, so enthusiasm for Tesla among conservative voters, comprising a mostly fresh buying pool, should also lift the demand trajectory. Now, he does say something that I do agree with, which is that the removal of the $7,500 EV tax credit by Trump is going to be in Tesla's favor, because basically it'll make it even tougher for other EV companies to compete with Tesla. So Tesla's lead is going to be solidified, basically. And something that may help Tesla substantially with regards to Elon Musk's alignment with Donald Trump is in the field of regulation and getting full self-driving approved. Now, as it relates to regulation, I do want to show you guys this video, which I think is basically, we can call it game, set, and match for the full self-driving. So this is a Tesla that is navigating a parking lot. By the way, this is sped up, so don't get concerned that Tesla's going to tear through a parking lot at this speed. But this is a Tesla that's navigating through a parking lot. It's going to find itself a parking space by itself. There's no one turning the steering wheel here. It's going to find its spot amongst the charging spots in the parking lot, and it's going to do a perfect parking job. So this is big, guys. This is why you should have a $380 price target on Tesla, uh, and I think it's 2025 is going to be a turning point for Tesla stock. I think we're going to get a breakout in Tesla stock. We're going to make new all-time highs in Tesla stock, and it's going to be very hard for investors who haven't built up a position in Tesla to build one up if they haven't already. So, with that being said, let's go to questions. Thank you all for coming. Wow, we have a lot of people who came. Thank you all for coming. Salam, brother. What price do you think Bitcoin will peak at this cycle? Honestly, the entire concept of cycles for Bitcoin specifically, uh, maybe at the end of its term, because, or at least the cycles will be much more muted, because there are so many sources of continuous bids that are manifesting. I mean, it started with the ETFs, but now we're getting sovereigns and corporates adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets. So, the cycles may not be as extreme as we have experienced. That being said, I do think that by the end of this year, I think we fly by the $100,000 mark, and next year I think we fly by the $200,000 mark. This is just, I mean, and why I say this, I think perhaps the biggest catalyst of next year will be the United States using Bitcoin or identifying Bitcoin as a reserve asset. It's going to create competition between other companies. It's going to legitimize Bitcoin as an asset. And a lot of people, financial professionals who may have been convinced with Bitcoin previously, but were kind of concerned to speak up at the risk of having recommended a very risky asset that doesn't have proper institutional adoption or proper recognition. They're going to have the courage to actually start making allocations to Bitcoin. I mean, after all, the United States itself made an allocation to Bitcoin, so that's going to be big for Bitcoin. Hey, assalamu alaikum, Wal. Nice to see you. Muhammad Abdullah, I'm not really a big fan of CLSK just because of the compensation package and how it's structured for CLSK's management. Nice to see you, Yahya. Thanks for staying awake for us. Effendi Qasim. Hey, yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for waiting for us, Effendi. Ala, wa alaikum salam. No, short selling is not halal in my assessment. Nice to see you, Rashad. Wa alaikum salam. I did have a great time. We'll catch you later, inshallah. Nice to see you, Zuhair. Nice to see you, Hussein, or Muhammad Hussein. My thoughts on XRP are not changed. I mean, I do see that it has, I think what's going on, largely is a short squeeze in the price of XRP. But from a fundamentals perspective, still not on my buy list. Hamid says, Assalamu alaikum, brother Rakaan. Can you please introduce more ticker for overall portfolio? Yes, inshallah. We will be introducing more. Basario, Jazakallah khair. Wayakum, Demli, wa alaikum salam. What do you think of SYN coin? Perhaps in the future. I will look at it. So Sid, so renewing subscription with the discount code. So to be honest, the discount is meant for people to encourage people who haven't tried the membership to give it a try. That's what the discount code is meant for. So it's not really meant for renewals. Hopefully, if you've been with us for a year, you've made multiple times what you paid for the premium membership or elite membership or whatever membership you have. So that's kind of the thinking behind it. I hope you understand. But that being said, you could always cancel your account and create a new one if you feel like that's the right thing to do. Abdul Hassan says, Salam all, like the live. Hey, thanks, Abdul. I appreciate it. Brother Rakaan, what is your current views on XRP? I said that. Salam Khalid, nice to see you. Is Boyan 24 available for you? So I just answered that, Jenna. So I don't want to guilt anyone. If we have any members that are like they need the money, like just cancel your account and sign up with a new account. Totally fine with me. So yeah, that would be one way to use the discount code. So yeah, so but use it quickly. Yesterday we hit our target within, I think, 30 minutes to an hour of me sending that email. So yeah, so I'll try and do it sooner rather than later before it expires. Nevertheless, if you can't afford to be a PIF member, I totally understand. I would still love to have you on our lives. I really enjoy these, whether you're a PIF member or not. So do tune in, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell your friends about us. And yeah, until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum, and peace be upon you all.